Welcome back to Notch EV. We are just about to leave. Cars at 99%, and we are headed back to New York City. It's 390 something miles. So we zeroed out our trip, Maine to New York City, starting off right now. We'll see how it goes. So we're starting our trip, and the GPS for a gas car right now says we should be back in New York City at 5:40 p.m. So we're just gonna see how we do on this drive in comparison to a gas car and try to keep those times as close as possible. But if Waze says a 5:40 p.m. arrival, most likely you would have to stop to get gas at one point, and you might have to use the bathroom at one point. So 5:40 would be without any stops. So most likely 6:15 would be more accurate, I would think. So we'll just see how we do compared to arriving at 6:15. This is the Seabrook, New Hampshire Supercharger, and this is right off 95. It's an older installation, 150 kilowatt supercharger, 8 of them. We got here so late. Now our arrival time for New York is 6:30, and this is our first time stopping. So essentially 6:30 would be the gas car equivalent time. So we're going to compare to that, but we're just taking a rest here because it's been so trafficy. We're about 45 minutes behind, I think. So we just need to get out of the car and use the bathroom. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go in this Panera Bread. Okay, got our Panera Bread. We are gonna get on the road because there's no reason to sit here at a slow charger. We'll end up at a better charger later on. We made it back to Willington, Connecticut Supercharger. This is another, this one we stopped on the way up. It's a nice supercharger. It's the new stalls, and we came in with a 3% state of charge, which is nice low state of charge. This is how I like to come into a supercharger. I'll get peak rates this way. And it said we would have 10% on arrival, but it was kind of judging based on the slow speeds we were going, since we were stuck in traffic in Maine and Massachusetts so bad. So by the time we got here, it was a lot more reduced, but it's a good state of charge to come in with. Let's see here, make sure we're doing well. Okay, we're ramping up nice and fast. It should easily cap out here. There's only one other car at this 16 stall, but actually it's kind of chugging. Okay, yeah, we're still moving up. So I'm gonna walk down the street and use the bathroom, and then this might be our last stop, but we could just make this really quick if we want, and then do one quick top up before we get back to the city. But this looks good. This looks good for now. This charger, we gotta walk all the way up there to find the bathroom. I went and got an iced coffee. We're charging up good at this charger. We've got a guy who's towing over here. This charger looks a little tough for towing though, but this, just like on the way up, this is all construction, but there's a big truck stop over there, which I got some footage in. It's actually pretty good, and it's not that far away. The traffic's been really bad, but the estimated arrival for a gas car is like 6:56 right now. Or sorry, it's like 6:50, but I have like 6 minutes more of charging. So we need to pick up the pace in this last leg to see how we can do. This was a hard drive to try to beat the gas car times, and I'm realizing that I think the more traffic there is, the harder it is to beat a gas car time, because you just get stuck with all the gas cars. You're not able to sort of power through and beat them and then charge and then, you know, stay in line that way. So the traffic did not help with time, but it obviously helps with efficiency. So it depends on your goal. And for me, with this particular trip, I was trying to beat gas time, but I think it's going to be a hard one, whereas I normally can do that on this amount of miles, being like 400 miles. Obviously, it's not a static sort of calculation. If you have less miles, if you're under 200, there's not gonna be a difference. You're not gonna need a charge. But at 400, I need a little bit of charge, and I usually can make that up. And when you start to get longer and longer, I think it changes the ratio. But how often are people driving more than 400 miles? Is like, point being, you're gonna be on par being able to beat the gas cars. There's that guy pulling away in the trailer, hauling a U-Haul. Electric cars putting in work. Okay, I should be done charging any second now, so I'm gonna go check in the car and see where we're at. Okay, car is calculating right now. We should be good to unplug here. It's saying 6:57 arrival. We're hopefully gonna be able to beat that and get closer to the original time I mentioned in Seabrook, New Jersey. Not New Jersey, New Hampshire. Okay, I'm gonna unplug. Let's go. And back in. Let's get on the road. All right, we're back in Manhattan, and I think we actually made really good time. It's 6:29, we're a block from home. We have a 299.5 watt hours per mile. So even though we managed to speed up, we still have an overall pretty good efficiency since the last charger. So I think I'm gonna cross compare the math and look at what I said earlier in the video about our arrival time, but I think we actually did just as good as a gas car. Since I live in a co-op with a garage, I always like to, when I end my trips here, go into, sorry, what do I click? I always go into Valet mode. That way they can't access all my personal data or sit in my car and play music.